name's Mike Blyth. I'm one of the founders of Sling Aircraft, and I'm the chief designer of the aircraft range, and in particular, the Sling TSi. I often get asked, what makes the Sling so special? How is it that we are able to get a four-seater flying so perfectly with this Rotax 915 engine, carrying good weight, good range, flying at a good speed? I have to go back a little bit just to say how it was that it all came about. We have a team here doing the design work. We've got a team of draftsmen and engineers. But in my case, I came from a background of lots of flying. I was a flight instructor, I was a competition pilot, I did long-range flying. I was a test pilot, I flew lots of different kinds of light aircraft, and over the years got to know which aircraft flew really well, which ones were terrible, and why they were flying like that. And then on top of it, because of the requirements of myself and James, we wanted aircraft that are really can be utilized with high utility as far as range is concerned, carrying capacity, speed, and handling. So we set ourselves very high standards as far as what we needed in the aircraft. But the starting point was this Rotax 915 engine. We wanted to fly with the Rotax engine, and that is what we had to design around. We also worked out, after designing and flying the Sling 4, that we could make a successful four-seater, but the 915 gave us the extra horsepower that we needed to just turn the aircraft from a great aircraft into an exceptional aircraft. The list that we wrote up right in the beginning was, first of all, safety, high utility, and then all the other requirements were non-negotiable, like robustness, good visibility, comfort, range, good weight carrying capacity, handling, of course, right at the top of the list as well, and speed. And so with that requirement, then we had to actually design the aircraft exactly around the power plant. We were lucky to find the propeller that we needed, being the Airmaster constant speed prop. Put the two together and gave us a perfect power plant. And then we were able to work out exactly what was needed as far as the wings and the sizing, tail, and etc. is concerned. As I said earlier, we were lucky we'd based it on already a successful aircraft that we already had, which was the Sling 4. There's all sorts of things that go into the design of these aircraft as far as the technical aspects are concerned, but I'm talking about the basic requirements that we set ourselves, and why we have made such a successful aircraft is because all of those things that we decided right in the beginning were completely non-negotiable. We had to meet those. As far as assembling this aircraft as a kit is concerned, right from the beginning we designed that in. Kept that in mind because we're essentially kit builders here as well. We made it, the design, such that it's easy to assemble. Every single part in the whole aircraft is pre-made. There's nothing that you need to make at all. All the holes are already there for assembly, and we even deburr the parts, of course. The other thing that we decided in the beginning is that we wanted to make this an aircraft that you could put together with pull rivets, which are easier to use. And the parts in the aircraft which require solid rivets, we actually do that work here in the factory. So it's actually quick to assemble, easy to assemble, everything goes together like clockwork. And the aluminium and the rivets were carefully selected so that they work together. The composite parts are completed as well. You might need to just do a little bit of assembly work, but it's an absolutely 100% complete kit with every single part that you need, which makes it easier to work on as a kit builder. And if you get the kit, you don't have to run off to the hardware store to go and start buying nuts and bolts.
My name is Bertus Janse from Rensburg. I'm the sales manager for Sling Aircraft, based here in Johannesburg, South Africa. Today we're going to talk about the Sling TSi and just specs, going into it quickly, just to give you guys an idea of what to expect and what the plane is capable of. The Sling TSi is powered by a Rotax 915 IS engine, a fantastic engine made by Rotax, really a game changer in the industry, putting out 141 horsepower It's fuel injected, it's turbocharged, making for those hot density altitude, hot and high days, quite a comfortable thing and not really an issue for most people. The Sling TSi will cruise at 148 knots through airspeed, burning 28 liters of fuel an hour. And you could do that with MOGAS. You don't have to do that with avgas like in the older days. The fuel tanks of the plane are also quite big, 99 liters per wing, so 198 liters in total, keeping those passengers calm and collected when you go on longer flights and knowing that you won't run out of fuel. The plane has a maximum all-up weight of 950 kilograms. Usually they come out at about 520 kilograms empty weight, depending on the equipment that you install, so just something worth noting. But you have a useful load of then in the region of 430 kilograms that you can use for fuel, passengers, luggage, anything that you'd like to obviously include. So on the note of passengers, it is a 4-seater, so you can put 4 people in. You just have to be mindful of the sizes and the weights of those people, as it obviously will be a limiting factor in what you can carry, i.e. fuel or luggage. Standard on the Sling TSi, we recommend Garmin equipment as your main avionics choice. Garmin is tried, it's tested globally and locally. There's a lot of support all over, so when in need, there is always a service center to help you out with any technical issues you might have. Standard, we recommend having a Garmin G3X as your primary flight display. Autopilot, we recommend the GMC 507 as your main control panel. Just the Garmin Radio GTN 650 or GTR 200, whichever your needs require. We have a Garmin G5 backup instrument as our main backup. And then the usual stuff in the back end that you don't always talk about or hear of, your audio panels, your transponders. All in all, the TSi is a great aircraft. The long-range fuel tanks, coupled with the engine, the Garmin equipment, the unmatched handling characteristics, the comfortable interior, makes for an extremely versatile aircraft. The Sling will definitely be taking you places.
So I've been asked to talk a little bit about the flight handling of this Sling TSi. I always start saying that no aeroplane can be all things to all people. It can't carry a heavy load and go fast and land short and be low maintenance and be big enough to fit everything in. So you need to make some compromises. The one element of these Sling aeroplanes that isn't compromised is the handling qualities. It is the single absolutely outstanding feature, and it was great in the Sling 2 and it was great in the Sling 4. When Rotax produced the 915 IS engine and we modified the Sling 4 to create the Sling 4 TSi, we made some changes. We made a change to the wing from a NACA 4415 to a NACA 2414, narrower wing, less moment and typically less drag. It allows you to change the angle of the tail, and that means the airplane effectively is less heavy, so it goes faster. If you make a smaller wing with a tighter taper, you also bounce around less, and one of the consequences of that is that you can fly faster even in turbulent weather. And we were delighted that the handling qualities of the Sling TSi, no question about it, are actually better than the Sling 4. Lots of the light, responsive, certain elements of the Sling 2, but actually a slightly better cruiser. So brilliant both for flying around the patch and also for long trips cross country with a heavy load. I think that if one is to try and characterize the Sling handling qualities that people have come to love, it is the combination of responsiveness, which is a modern kind of feel, together with stability. Quite a difficult combination to manage or to secure. We got a lot of advice at the beginning of the design process from an aerodynamicist called Johan Barnard, who is a 25-year aerodynamicist at Denel, and he was searching together with us for something called the MIL spec, military specification. Typically what you want in an aeroplane is for the roll, the pitch, and the yaw with your legs to have a weighting of 1:2:5. And I feel that we are very, very close to that in the Sling TSi. We've recently worked on developing a high wing version, the Sling High Wing, and really that aeroplane is a consequence of the fact that the motor airframe marriage in a Sling TSi is so perfect and the handling of the aircraft so beautiful that we felt that we needed to reproduce it wherever we could. Lots of people want a high wing for various reasons, and when determining what handling qualities we wanted the Sling High Wing to have, we looked to the Sling TSi as the absolutely perfect exemplar of what those handling qualities should look like. She's an absolute joy to fly, both on the weekend as for a fun flight with your mates and family, or to get from A to B. She can land inside of 250 meters if you're a good pilot. She takes off in the same. People often ask me what other aircraft have similar handling qualities to the Sling, and particularly the Sling TSi. And you know, I have for many years flown an extra 200 actually, and it's responsive like an extra, but it's stable unlike an extra. I'm told that a chipmunk has handling qualities very like a Sling TSi. I need to go and try that sometimes. For me, probably the most obvious quality is that it goes exactly where you point it. It's a pilot's aeroplane, but it's not flaky. It's a highly responsive, but very stable platform to operate from.
How's it, everyone? For those of you who are not South African, how's it is hello in South Africa. I'm Andrew Pitman, I'm the CEO of Sling Aircraft, and I discovered that a bunch of my colleagues have been making a video about the TSi recently, and I felt quite left out. I believe all the technical specs, the speeds, the fuel consumption, the handling's all been covered. I wanted to show you why I love this aeroplane. Sean, bring me my bike, bro. Food, clothes, cycling gear, mattress, tent, sleeping bag, cycling gear, more supplies, flight bag, canopy cover, and we're off. Where to? I'm not 100% sure yet, but I've got a map. Let us have a look at where we are going to go. What's this place? Tankwa National Park. Let me find that.
There, so don't waste your time. No issues, I just got.
You know where we're going? Let's do it.
Tango, Sierra, we're going to backtrack, runway 29 for immediate departure. After departure, left hand out, reaching Tankwa National Park. We had 13 hours endurance, and we'll call maintain 6,500 next to the TMI.